Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. Fight fans worldwide, you've tuned into the number one undisputed boxing podcast today. This is the Boxing Breakdown. Now, your heavy-handed, hard-hitting host, Mark Roxy.
What's up, and welcome to another edition of the Boxing Breakdown. I am your host, Mark Roxy, and I am delighted to be with you today. You guys are in for a great show. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome in my partner in crime, professional boxing judge, Mr. Harold Hunt. What's up, Harold?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. I really am. It's been a busy week. There's a lot of preparations for a lot of boxing and a lot of other stuff that's going on in and out of the ring. And it's been one of those hot summer days. So I'm delighted to be here in the Boxing Breakdown, and I am delighted to be with all of you out there listening in on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. It is a pleasure. We appreciate that you're with us today, whether you're going from here or there, or you're just listening to the Boxing Breakdown at work. We are really appreciative of that. And if you are tuning in on YouTube, thank you for being with us. Please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe down below, and make sure that you bust up those notifications for us. This way, every time we go live, we can have you with us. And if you are there and you would like to make some comments or participate, we will put your comments on the air, and we are delighted that you would do that. So, yeah, man, Harold. Listen,
yes.
We have so much to talk about because let's get into the boxing schedule, because there is, I know I put it on, folks, for later on in the show, and we'll come back and we'll touch on some of those topics. But what I'd like to do is just kind of give you a glance over into what's coming up, man, because there's a lot of boxing. So we've got Garcia and Fortuna. We'll just touch on some of the bigger ones, the ones that are really important, but there's lots of boxing everywhere. But Garcia and Fortuna on DAZN on July 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got Gonzalez versus Dogbo. That's on ESPN Plus, July 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be a really, really nice little scrap there. We also have Garcia versus Benavidez Jr., and that is not David, as Harold so eloquently pointed out. That is Danny Garcia, right out of our hometown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Shout out, Philly, hands up. But, so Garcia is going to be facing off Jose Benavidez Jr. on Showtime on July 30th, 9 p.m. This is a big fight for Danny Garcia to keep his name in the mix and keep him right up there at the top of the division. And then there's Conlon versus Mariaga on ESPN August 6th. That should be a good fight. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, yeah, we got Teofimo Lopez versus Campa. So Teofimo is back in the conversation. That fight's going to be on ESPN Plus on August 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we've got Usyk versus Joshua 2, August 20th at 2 p.m. And Harold, this is one that you were really hot on pre-show, right? We were chopping it up, which is Adrian Broner versus Omar Figueroa on Showtime, August 20th at 9 p.m.
Right.
Yeah, Navarrete versus Baez, ESPN, August 20th at 10 p.m. And man, it's gonna be something. And of course, we got Clarissa Shields versus Marshall, Sky Sports, ESPN Plus, September 10th at 2 p.m. And then the big one, man, the big one, Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G Golovkin, DAZN pay-per-view, September 17th at 9 p.m. So we have an action-packed couple of months, and I know there'll be. I mean, there's lots of local fights going on. There's a fight taking place here in Philadelphia that's happening. I think it's Price Promotions, and then there's another one with Rising Star Promotions, and I think King Promotions, Marshall Kaufman's promotion, and he has a fight in September. So there's lots of fights in the PA, New Jersey region, lots of stuff going on. And as you can see, we have today on our show, we will be meeting and talking with the bantamweight sensation, Mr. Dylan Price, provided he gets out of training or comes before training. I know that they're moving their training into the evening hours because their fight's coming up pretty soon. And then we're going to talk to the always gentleman from the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. We're going to sit down with Mr. Ray McCline and talk about the 2022 induction weekend in Atlantic City and all the amazing stuff that's going to go on there, Harold. So we got a good show. And I know we wanted to kind of briefly touch on some of these other fights. So what do you think about this Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez Jr. fight, Harold?
Well, for Danny, it's a great opportunity. He had to cut weight a couple times. He's getting bigger and older, and it's a little hard to do that. He gets to move up and use his cachet, his name recognition, and he'll be fighting the brother of David Benavidez. Now, the brother is a good fighter. The name is what's going to catch people's eye and attention.
Right.
Danny has an excellent left hook, and if he hits anybody, heavyweight, anybody within the arc of that hook, you're out. And he knows he can bring that up to a higher weight class. So I think this is wise for him to do this. He's not necessarily going to be threatened by this gentleman at all, but it's a good fight to tune in, and we can see how popular he still may be or not. It's kind of a gauge,
Right.
but he's going to give a good fight.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna be a really interesting fight. And do we know where that fight's taking place, Harold? Do you happen to know?
Off the top of my head, I can't say. I believe it was somewhere in Vegas, but
Oh, okay.
don't quote me on that.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure where the fight's taking place, but anyway, it's going to be a great fight. We can find out a little bit later as to the location of the fight. But nevertheless, you can definitely see that fight on television. So that's great. It's one of those fights where it's on a Showtime. So if you've subscribed to Showtime, then lucky you, because you'll get to see that on July 30th at 9 p.m. And then Harold, what's hot with Teofimo Lopez and Campo? Tell me a little bit about that.
He's kind of in the same situation. He's moving up in weight, doesn't have to cut all that weight. He can leave I wouldn't say shame, but he can put that situation that he lost behind him.
Yeah.
And he can establish himself in another weight class, which he will do well at. He has the name recognition. He has the ability to really drive a promotion. He and his father. So he's going to be someone who capture the people's imagination, and he can fight. So he'll be more focused on his skill set. I believe the last fight, just to touch briefly, he was surprised that the guy was still there. He kind of said, well, I got to take him out right there. And then some of his defense went away because he was kind of emotional in the fight because he wanted to knock the guy out.
Mm,
So I
yep.
think going forward, he'll rely on the skill set that he has. He'll be less emotional, and he'll do
Right.
very well. He'll be very successful.
Well, we've got, in that division at the 140, folks, if you're listening in there, this is for you guys tuning in. We've got Jose Zabata is in there. Josh Taylor's in there. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good fighters in there. Gary Antoine Russell is there. Regis Progress is in there. Um, there's a lot of good guys in there.
Yes, there is.
Brandon Lee is in there. So I wonder if this is a question, like if I'm looking here correctly, one of the rankings, one of the ranking bodies, for lack of a better word, actually has Teofimo ranked at 8. Um, there's a vacant belt there. For the WBA is vacant. WBC is vacant. Right? So those are 2 vacant belts, man. There looks like there's going to be a mad dash at 140. I think that's why a lot of those other guys are talking about hitting the 140 too, so they could scrap and see if they can come out with those belts and then snatch the Josh Taylor belts. I guess it's a great opportunity to unify for, certain folk fighting in that division. But
Yeah, it opens
yeah,
up a lot of stuff for them, and I believe he'll have the one fight, and then they'll pair him up to fight one of those vacant belts, the BA or the
right.
BC.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in here, right? That we don't know that much about. There's a lot of guys in here that haven't had their 5 minutes of fame, if you will, where they're household names. So I think there's a lot of good talent in here, but not a lot of good talent here that sells big tickets. So it'll be interesting to see who rises to the top quickly in the various sanctioning bodies, in terms of the business of boxing, who gets called out. Because I know, you know, Teofimo, he's ranked.
Sells
He's ranked.
tickets.
Yeah, he sells lots of tickets. He's at 6, and then he's at 8. He's at 6 with the WBC. He's at 8 with the WBA. He's at 7 with the IBF, and he is. I'm not sure where he's ranked. Um, I don't actually see him. Well, where is he? Let me see. Oh no, he's number 4. Yeah, he's ranked number 4 at the WBO. So he's a player, man. He's in there, and I'm sure the promoters are going to want that number. They're going to call up that number because those are big ticket sales. But it'll be interesting with Teofimo, and then of course, we've got Usyk, right? Usyk and Joshua. That fight's coming up. We just spoke about it briefly before, but that's on August 20th, so that's literally like a month away. Just a little more than a month away, and that fight, that's a big fight. Maybe not for us, but it's a big fight. It's not a big fight here in America, or as big of a fight in America, but it's an important fight for the heavyweight boxing division, and certainly this is a make or break it for Joshua.
Yeah, definitely a make or break. Now he's been on record saying recently in different podcasts and interviews that he looks forward to hurting people again. He wants to be this brute again. He was somewhat passive in his past fights, but he wants to really, be physical and take advantage of his size. So
Yeah.
that's what he's saying. I don't know if his press person is having him say that, or he's saying that just for the tickets, but that would be the way to go with Usyk on this occasion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting fight, and it'll shake up the heavyweight division landscape based on who wins that. A lot, I mean, I know Usyk is. If he comes out with another victory there, I wonder how the other folks in that division are going to really take to that. Because he's getting real acclimated in that division after climbing up to it. He seems to really like playing up there. So that should be really, really interesting. And then, hey, how about Ryan Garcia? And Javier Fortuna, that's been a fight that we talked about even during COVID that we thought was gonna happen. It didn't happen, and we were so up. Do you remember that podcast we did? Go back. That was great because I was really on fire for that podcast.
I do, but I think Fortuna has somewhat lost a little bit of his allure since that time.
Yeah,
Uh, whereas Ryan, it's you know, is the spaghetti going to boil or is it going to sink to the bottom? We got to see.
that's a good.
So
That was a good one. Is the spaghetti? Is the spaghetti gonna boil or sink to the bottom? You mean is it gonna be al dente, or is it gonna be soggy, mushy?
that's it. 'Cause we don't know what he's got. We don't know what he's
Right.
got, but we know that it looks good. He
Yeah.
looks good.
Yo,
So
Harold, where is Tank? Where is Tank in all this? Come on.
Tank is chilling. He has no reason to put himself in the forefront. He just moved himself around a little bit. He got in the public consciousness. He showed great decorum and class in his last victory. There's no reason for him to say anything. The fans are happy with a great knockout. They're still enjoying all the podcasts and all the stuff about the run up to the fight, the epilogue, and all that kind of stuff. And they're still enjoying that. They're still talking about the knockout. They're still talking about his opponent's unwillingness to accept that he was knocked out in such a manner. He's still running around saying what he's saying.
Right.
I mean, he's got a lot of traction from the fight itself. So he doesn't need to do anything as far as being in the ring. Let them come to him. I mean,
Right.
I don't see him needing to call anybody out. Just he's doing what he needs to do, and it's good work.
Right. Well, I mean, Devin Haney. We're talking about the 135-pound division right now, but I mean, there's lots of folks down in that division too. So I mean that division is fire, man, because you got Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, Isaac Cruz, George Kambosos, Joseph Diaz. Richard Comey's still in there playing around in that division. So there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys there, and I mean, quite honestly, 135 is lit up. It's lit up, Harold, and I don't really think that Tank is going to have a problem locking horns with anybody in this division. He's just on fire right now.
Yeah, the public has so many possibilities to pair with him, and it's just nice to think about maybe this guy, maybe that guy, maybe this guy, maybe
Yeah.
that guy. So it's appetizing, even though we don't even know who he's going to fight, and that's the beauty of that division right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then, of course, Adrian, the problem, Broner versus Omar Figueroa. That fight is first of all, it's amazing that he's going to be doing that fight. That's going to be on Showtime again, as I said earlier, August 20th, 9 p.m. on Showtime. Adrian Broner versus Omar Figueroa. You guys are not going to want to miss that fight. Very competitive matchup. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. Always fireworks, always pomp and circumstances. And to be honest, like Adrian Broner is must-see TV. This guy is always entertaining. And so from the standpoint of butts in the seats and eyes on the pay-per-view or whatever it's going to be, Adrian Broner's your guy. So congratulations, Adrian Broner. I'm so happy that you're back in the ring. You deserve it. You're awesome. Stay strong. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. That's all I can say. And then I think these guys that we just talked about, out of those guys, who do you think will end up in the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame.
Danny Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Usyk, Garcia, Tank, Adrian Broner. Like, which one of those goes in next? I mean, it
I
may
would
be a
think
while.
Garcia has the track record.
Yeah.
because he lost to other people who are going in the Hall of Fame, possibly.
Right.
If he can get into this division here and do very, very well and possibly unify,
Yeah.
he would have to go through some heat to do that.
Yeah.
He would definitely be there, no doubt, no doubt. So he's got that wild card left hook that will stop anybody who
Right.
happens to get in that arc of when he
Yeah.
delivers it. So he will always be in a situation. But out of those ones that you spoke of, I believe he has, at this level, he has the best pedigree, in my opinion.
All right. Well, it's always nice to look at these young guys and try to figure that out, because we'll come back to this podcast in a couple of years and you'll be like, I remember I said Ryan Garcia, and there he is. So I love it. I love when I get you to commit to something like that. But you know what, Harold, okay. So you guys tuning in on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, thank you. If you're on YouTube and you're watching us right now, thank you for participating. Thank you for being with us again. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit those notifications so you can know when we're coming on live. You guys are in for a really big, a big treat today, because I have with me right now, I don't know where Dylan Price is. He was supposed to be here right around the 8 o'clock hour. Didn't make that. Maybe he got tied up in training or something, but we'll see if he comes on later on in the podcast. But who I have waiting in the green room right now, I have none other than the gentleman, Mr. Ray McCline of Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. He's with us again. This is the second time he's been on the program, and I am so excited to have him here because we're going to talk about what's coming up with the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. This year, it's October 7th through the 9th, 2022. It's the 6th annual awards and induction weekend, and of course, it's happening in Atlantic City. And it's happening at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. You guys, listen, I'm telling you now, I've been at the event. I've seen the spectacle that this thing is. You're going to, without further ado, what I'd like to do is welcome into the studio here, Mr. Ray McCline. What's up, Ray McCline? Welcome to the Boxing Breakdown.
Hey, Mark, how are you, my friend? Thank you for having me on the boxing breakdown, along with your partner, Harold. I appreciate you guys allowing me this access to be able to talk about the Hall of Fame and, as you stated, the spectacle that it is. And I know that's all, that's said with the utmost respect, and also what it is. And we really do try to put on an event that allows people to reminisce of the past, but also celebrate the fighters of yesteryear, but also do it in a form that they can feel special about people recognizing the gift that they were to this business and sport.
Oh man, I just well, first of all, folks, listen. I think that this is one of the most. There's a lot of boxing events and a lot of things going on all year long, but this is one of my favorite events to participate in. It's just absolutely spectacular. So Harold, have you been to the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame yet?
No, I have not, and I'm looking forward to it. My opportunity is upcoming, Mr. McCline, and I will be there, and I will enjoy that. I have read some items on how you put together what you did, and I am thoroughly impressed, and I have some great questions. If Mark will allow me the opportunity to slip them in there, because he's got his too. But hey, if I have an opportunity, when I do, I'm going to take it all in.
No, I appreciate it. And Harold, you're definitely, the invitation has been extended to you. The boxing breakdown will definitely be there as we, go on in this conversation. I'm sure we'll get to lay out the participation of the boxing breakdown during that weekend.
Oh man, that sounds to me like an awesome invitation, Harold. That's what's up right there. That is what's up. And I wonder, Ray, if you can just kind of walk us through, how did you come up with the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame? How did that come to be?
I'm going to try. I've been learning to do this, what they say, the 30-second or 1 minute elevator pitch. So I'm going to try to do this in that time span. Actually, 2010. I'm sorry. I went to the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. I was accompanying Virgil Hill, who was being inducted that year at the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. Had worked with Virgil as one of his assistant trainers from 93, 94, 2007, 2008, his last fight, I think it was 2007. He was inducted into the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame at that time, and then thereafter, a couple of years later, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But in 2010, went there to the event to obviously show the support and be there as as one of his trainers, to be in attendance with them, and just watching the event, as a guest at that time. Just my ignorance, not knowing much about the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. I heard of it and obviously knew its existence, but didn't know all the details of it at that time. And just watching the event, I was trying to figure out, why did we just drive almost 2.5 hours up to North Jersey to do this event on a Thursday night? And so I just kind of started doing my inquiries and wondering why, like a lot of the fights that I knew of, during the 80s and 90s and, during the casino eras took place in Atlantic City. So I was just wondering, why weren't we doing that event in Atlantic City? And I just thought, from a business standpoint, the casinos would be just a great place to host the event. The fighters that I knew that was forthcoming. Some had already been inducted into the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame, and some was to come. But at that point, it was just that light went off, and went on, I should say, and I just kind of began the methodical work of doing the build out of it and checking and seeing what was out there. And there was a few things that was around the peripheral that was happening. There was an all-star gala that the former mayor of Atlantic City had hosted. And it was kind of right on that line. And I'm like, oh, boy, they're real close to doing what I want to do here. So in 2014, I, formed a company, the New Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, brought on the team. And it took us from 2014 to 2017 to actually establish the requirements, the bylaws, just kind of the, rules of what this would look like. And also, how people would be selected. The committee that will be doing the selection and nominating, and just building this and building phase 1, phase 2, and 3. And we are currently in 2.5, actually, right now with the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, been in our 6th year. So it took some time, but it was just, it was triggered at the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame in 2010. And here we are, in 2022 in our 6th year. And, I had to ask myself that question. Why not me? I worked in this business for many of years as a trainer.
Right.
I've been an advisor, consultant to major promotional companies, upstart and established. I've worked as a manager, on handshake agreements. I've worked as a consultant, again on handshake agreements. I've helped build a lot of young fighters in this area, and also some promoters. That's actually doing, national shows right now. I've helped, with them, on that foundation. So, I had to ask myself, why not me? And I'm glad that I answered that and, said, it's my time. And I, put together, I feel, a pretty strong team that helped me do this, each year. I definitely don't do it on my own. And I appreciate everyone, from my graphics guy, my vice president, Rod Green, Angela Crockett, director of communications and fighter relations, Rob Scott, John Martin, Jay Torres, who builds out our website, who does all of our graphics, all of our merchandising, everything that, make us look good, on social media, and, I just feel real proud of the people that I have with me. And, I feel good about the product and the brand that we put out. And we've made pretty significant moves, and we're recognized at this point as a very established, brand, in this space right now.
So,
Hey,
Go ahead,
Oh,
Harold.
please go ahead.
No, go ahead, Harold.
Hey,
Go
let's
ahead.
let's trumpet your past. You trained one of my favorite fighters, John Eastern Beast Brown. I remember watching that. I I enjoyed his work. I enjoyed his demeanor. It was so calculating and calm. I
Yeah,
enjoyed him, and that was then. Then you would train over the year in 2012. So, what fighters did you have that year that helped you get that accolade that year? Do you remember exactly who broke through
yeah.
for you?
Actually, it was a combination of things. It was the press of Atlantic City trainer of the year. I'd like to make sure that we specify that. And it was a great honor. I was training at that time a couple young fighters in the area. At that time, Anthony Juice Young, who's established right now as one of the top, welterweights in this region. Outside of, obviously the obvious Boots Enos, and the killer that he is. So I definitely want to make sure we recognize that. But he was a young upstart fighter at the time. Was working with him, working with another young fighter that was I think 10-0, Jaywan Woods at the time. And I'm getting a little older, so I'm missing probably John Lennox, who I think was 6-1 or 7-1 at the time. And then obviously that was the year that Virgil Hill was being inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame as well. So I was being recognized, with that as well. But John Brown, I worked with John for about 4 fights. I've known him since the amateur days. I've watched him come up. We was always in the gym together, whether he was training in Atlantic City or at the Pleasantville Rec. And I knew his, trainer, Bill Johnson, for many years. And we were all, friends, and we still are. And, John had made a change at one point and asked myself and Mike Hall to come in and work with him. And we worked with him for 4 fights. And one of those fights was his rematch against Stevie Forbes for the junior lightweight title. So it was a pleasure working with John. He's a great guy and hard worker, very hard worker.
So Ray, that's just amazing, and clearly you have a storied, an amazing history in the sport. You've basically been in every corner of it. You've done everything that someone would do that's involved in the sport of boxing. And what I think is so amazing is this event that you created, because the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, it's not just like you go into a museum and look at a bunch of artifacts, if you will, or memorabilia from the past. This is a living, breathing event that takes place over 3 days. And I wonder if you could just walk us through how this event is going to take place this year. I mean, obviously, I've said it's at the Hard Rock the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. But there's a lot of things going on. So what I'd like to do is wonder if you can just walk us through day one. Like, what happens on day one?
Well, you can see on the sign behind me, it says where boxing history comes to life. And we've embraced that. And we tried to put on a weekend experience. And we've borrowed from a lot of different Hall of Fames, a lot of different events. And we tried to bring that to the boxing world. And on day one, we have our kickoff event, which is our opening bell VIP reception. And it's going to be fun. We are embracing that we are at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, which is a global recognized hotel brand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that I don't think I'm not going to gloss over that. So with that, we've embraced the entertainment aspect of this. So the opening bell, we're going to do what we're going to this year is going to be boxing and music. So we're going to blend,
Wow.
boxing and music together this year. And with that, we have an unbelievable host, the legendary Roxanne Shante is going to
Yes.
be our evening
Wait,
host.
but
We have
that is the song Roxanne, Roxanne, that one, right?
And
yes,
she had a bunch of
Oh,
other ones too
yeah, yes,
now.
she did, and she is a huge boxing fan. She hosts on Sirius XM radio on Rock the Bells, Cool J's station. She does a weekly show on there, and it is incredible. But she's a huge boxing fan. She's at our event each year, just her and her husband, and they're just unbelievable people. She's at all the fights in New York and North Jersey and all over, and she's very good friends with a lot of the fighters. So she's looking forward to being a part of this event.
Wow.
We have some great things that's going to be happening. We have karaoke with the legends. So that's in itself is
Wait.
going to be fun.
Karaoke with the legends. Tell me
With the
about
legends.
tell me about the karaoke with the legends. I need to know
What,
about
what
that.
you're going to see, legendary fighters. Ray Mercer and Tim Witherspoon have already agreed to be a part of this.
No.
And I'm going to say this is the rematch of their controversial fight in Atlantic City. And I'm so glad, that these guys there both have been inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, and they're just great guys, great ambassadors for the sport. So we're going to have them participate in that evening. We also we're going to be doing some very cool things with some boxing reels. We're going to get some of the fighters to explain or share their experience with music, what music motivated them, why they chose certain songs to go into the ring. Training camp, was there a message that they were trying to send to their opponent by the music that they chose at their ring walk. We're going to show some highlight reels of some pretty cool ring entrances, and we have a thing that we're going to call hits and hits. It's a play on words, which is boxing hits, which are knockouts, and also hits, music hits. And we're going to probably have some cameos of some people that are in the music industry. And hope we're trying to lock some of those down. So it's going to be some pretty cool cameos. And also, I haven't been able. We're working on the flyer now, but former light heavyweight champion Montel Iceman Griffin, who does comic. He's a stand-up comedian now.
Really?
He's gonna actually do a 5 to 6 minute stand-up routine that evening as well. So we're embracing a lot of the talent that's in the boxing world and kind of putting it on display. So we have our DJ who's been with us for many years. I am Young Hitter. So it's a cool night, and we're looking forward to just a fun night at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame kickoff night, which is Friday, October the 7th. And also, let me say this here for fans that are going to be there. That evening at the Hard Rock, Hall & Oates is going to be performing in the big room as well. And then on Saturday evening, Wanda Sykes is going to be doing 2 shows.
Oh,
so you're going to have all the boxing, going, entertainment and everything going on. And you have these big music acts that Hard Rock brought into the evening, into the weekend as well.
Wow, that's amazing. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it really, really is amazing. There's so much, and that's just folks. That's just day one.
And Mark, please let me not. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that also. One of our partners is Fantasy Resorts, which is currently they're switched over their names as Club Boardwalk Resorts. They're one of our host properties, hotels, and we will be doing each night, Friday and Saturday night, our mix and mingles there at the property. So a lot of the fighters and family and friends are at that property as well, and it becomes a pretty cool event just to be in the hotel lobby. Really cool environment just to be there with the fighters, and it's no autographs, it's no like hustle and bustle. It is just an evening where you get the chance just to hang out with the fighters and family and friends and just talk boxing or just be personal with them. So we look forward to that as well.
Wow, that is amazing. And so then, tell me a little bit about Ray. Tell me a little bit about day 2. So we've got a day 2, right? Which now, when you come to this event and you buy tickets to this event, do you get the whole weekend, or can you just mix and match what events you want to go to?
It's really it's a la carte, because what we've done, we try not to make this too pricey. We know people are traveling both far and near, so we know it costs money to to book a hotel or put gas in your car and all. So we really try not to make this priced out of the budget. So Friday night is a minimum cost of $50 for entry. into that event. But you get again, you get all this entertainment. It's going to be some pass hors d'oeuvres and different things that's part of that. But then on day two, we made it where it's free to the public, and that is our fan experience. And literally, it is a fan experience. And we have various exhibits. The Jack Johnson exhibit. We've locked in the Italian American Museum from out of Philadelphia and South Philly. They're going to have a presentation there. We have various books, authors that are going to be there as well. We have various artists, Patrick Killian from Wales, England, Chris Guzman, the boxing glove artist. We have various memorabilia guys there, and we're gonna have some interactive events as well. We have a pop-up boxing gym with Spar Bar, one of our partners and sponsors as well.
Wow.
We're gonna have cornhole. It's going to be the cornhole challenge. So you're going to be able to play against legends there. We also have a giant Connect 4 board that you're going to be able to play against legends as well. So again, we try to make this where it's family friendly, and you engage these legends, and in an environment where it's just not about autographs and getting gloves and pictures signed,
Right.
which it will be that as well. But we really do try to engage everyone. We're going to have some technology this year. My guy is working on some AR, which is augmented reality. So we're going to kind of debut our virtual reality museum this year as well, and we're working along with also a VR person as well. So we're going to do some virtual reality as well. So we're pretty excited about that fan experience. That's going to be from 10 to 4 on Saturday at the Brighton Ballroom at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, which is located on that second floor by the buffet. It is a great area. It's going to be a lot of people there, and so we're pretty excited about that as well.
Ray, can you just repeat the name of the fantasy resort's new name? Because
yes, it's Club Boardwalk Resorts. It's in the Back Bay Inlet area of Atlantic City. Beautiful property overlooking the Back Bay, looking at Brigantine Island, looking at the Golden Nugget, the Borgata, as well as the Harrah's Marina Casino. So it is a great property.
They do a great job at that property because I mean, I've been there for a bunch of fights and stayed there. Had fighters stay there, and it's a really they do an amazing job. It's really incredible that they now can fans for the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame get rooms at that particular hotel, or is it pretty much anywhere in Atlantic City?
No, are the two properties that we have discount rates with for that weekend. It's the Club Boardwalk Resorts, which is Fantasy Resorts, which is the flagship.
Right. Okay,
And
cool.
it's a timeshare property. It is a beautiful, beautiful property. If you go on our site and you click the links there, you will see the hotel accommodation, obviously Hard Rock Hotel and Casino as well. And again, the rates, I implore anyone that's listening, that's looking to come in that weekend, please book now. That is going to be October 7th, 8th, and 9th. That is Columbus weekend. And historically in Atlantic City, that's one of the busiest weekends of the year because it's the first weekend after the summer. And also they have a few other big events happening in the city. So the city's going to be very busy that weekend. So take advantage of these early discounts on the rates now.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I know Harold and I will make sure that happens, and we'll be telling our
I got an agenda already. Believe that.
I know. Telling all of our friends in the boxing community to get their tickets. Listen, last year I was there, and I couldn't believe who was at the cocktail, the mix and mingle, man. I mean, every fighter that you would you've grown up watching them, you've seen them fight, they're all there, and they've all got markers, not all of them, but a lot of them got markers in their hands, and they're signing autographs, and there's memorabilia everywhere. It's an amazing weekend. I can't say enough about it, especially for the Whether you're a boxing diehard or you are a casual, if you like to collect memorabilia, this is where you want to go because everybody is there, and I mean, everybody from Mike Tyson to I mean, you name. I mean, I always have to name Mike Tyson first because, of course, he's you
Your
know
favorite fighter.
yeah. We don't have to get into it, okay?
Well, I'll give you. I'll drop. I'll name drop, and we haven't done. We haven't officially announced all the fighters that are going to be there, but
Uh-oh, here
we
we
do have some
go.
staples. We do have some staples that are always with us. Michael Spinks, Ray Mercer, Tim Witherspoon, Iran Barkley,
Mm,
Poison Junior Jones, Michael Olajide, John
yes.
Iceman Scully. I think Marlon Starling's coming in this year.
Wow.
Wow.
And actually, I'm pretty excited to mention, and I hope when we that I don't have to retract this. But we have a few fighters coming in from the West Coast this year. I went to the National Boxing Hall of Fame in April, and we were there and had a chance to build some relationships. And Danny Little Red Lopez will be making his way
Wow.
here to
Oh,
the East Coast. Also, I think Israel Vasquez as well, and Michael second to none, and I am missing
really?
someone. So, but we're pretty excited about some of our West Coast brothers, boxing brothers, coming here to be a
That's
part of
great.
this. I am, I'm pretty confident I can say Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran
Oh,
will be here. I've been
wow.
speaking with his daughter, Rochelle. She's a very dear friend of mine, and we're pretty excited about having Roberto Duran back here as well. And we have some invitations out to a few other boxing legends, and we're pretty confident that we will have a pretty good showing. And those are not our inductees. I'm pretty excited about the induction class that we have this year as well. So it's a lot. So
Wow.
it's a boxing fan's paradise. I know there's other boxing Hall of Fames, and we appreciate everything that's being done in that space with all the other boxing Hall of Fames, and
Yeah.
we love the fact that we're able to do our presentation in the manner in which we do. And
Yeah.
we're pretty excited about what's going to take place this year.
Ray, on that note, just quickly, Mark, you go to other Hall of Fames, you see their fit and finish, you see how they operate. What does your Hall of Fame do to incorporate some of their good things and the things that you've put together that separates this Hall of Fame from all the other ones? What is that specific thing that you know that is yours that you offer?
It's a good question. And for us, again, it's not at all, to knock any Hall of Fame. Every Hall of Fame to me is necessary,
That's right.
whether it's the Connecticut Boxing Hall of Fame, the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, Indiana, uh, any of them that's out there that exists, PA Boxing Hall of Fame, New Jersey, of course. Each one of them, is necessary in the lane that they're in, and we are as well, because there's fighters that work hard at this. We say blood, sweat, and tears. Uh, they're deserving to be recognized in that space. A lot of times from a local or regional or national or international standpoint, and you know. Believe me, being in this space now and understand, make the call to a fighter or to a non-participant, whether it's a matchmaker or a promoter or a photographer or a journalist, and you hear that excitement of appreciation, you step back and you go, wow, this actually means more than just, a call. This is someone recognizing the gift that this person had, and it's not going unrecognized. But to do it in Atlantic City, it has such a profound effect on a lot of people, because in some cases this is where they made their mark at, or this was a moment of great significance to them. So it becomes a little more appreciative to know that they're going to be honored here. So with that, we've tried to embrace the city, its culture, and just the pulse of the city, and not just doing the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame and doing a traditional experience where you go and you do a banquet experience. You have dinner at a table with 10 friends or colleagues, and kind of step and repeat itself. At various events, we've tried to embrace a full blown entertainment experience. Celebrate these guys in the way that they entertained us. So if that means music, if that means live performances, we were so blessed last year with Mark Rossi having his ballet production team be a part of it. And we did a in memoriam tribute to our fallen brothers and sisters. And that was done in a dance presentation that to this day has been talked about, because it's something that you will see at the Academy Awards, or you will see at the Grammys or the Oscars. And we've tried to take elements from those experiences and incorporate it into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame. So the difference is we present live entertainment, we present production, and we present a total experience as an award experience, atmosphere.
I just want to throw it out here. It's like being on a high-end cruise ship, because you got day 1, day 2, day 3. You've got a plethora of activities and got celebrities all around you being boxing. So it just stands out to me. Now, I must say, I will say, Atlantic City and Vegas are on par with me as far as having that pedigree. So deservedly so, Atlantic City is, in fact, in my mind, one of the top or the hotbed of boxing in this country.
Yeah, no, without question. And that's something, at one point, Atlantic City was the boxing mecca, from in the 80s, 90s. I mean, we hosted some of the biggest fights in the world, and we did multiple fights at multiple times. And sometimes, 2 fights, 3 fights on national television in the same week, and sometimes twice on the same day on ABC or CBS or NBC. And then you had major fights on HBO and Showtime and pay-per-view. So Atlantic City was an established, a recognized mecca, of boxing, known around the world. When you talk to different people from various places and you mention Atlantic City, they think boxing. And that's, Vegas is the same way. You think entertainment, you think Vegas, you think boxing, you think Vegas. So we've embraced that, and we feel pretty good about, what we do here. Again, it's something that the team, and I, go over, and it's a year-round job, for us, and we plan this out, and we work again with people like Mark Rossi, people like Samad Haq. I have other individuals, Whitney Ullman, who's, entertainment reporter that's on Fox News, in Philadelphia, that works with us as well. My team, Angela Crockett, who works, from a communications and entertainment, communications and liaison with the fighters and building that relationship. And then my partner, Rod Green, who works in the background. And, he's someone that he's not seen, but he's heard, loud and clear, through, the strategy and the planning and the execution of this event, because it's not easy to put on. So again, it's a team build.
New Vision is your baby. How does that incorporate itself into this?
That's one of those questions I wasn't expecting, but actually it's incorporated itself in a lot of ways, because for me, I was a business, still is. I'm a business consultant. I've worked with various nonprofits and various local business organizations, but also I've worked with national and international businesses, groups where we've done foreign direct investment tours in Atlantic City. We've done these travel and tourism with Asian groups coming in, for gaming, entertainment, and also shopping experiences. And also I currently work with a company over in the UK, England, Spar Bar, which is a new sport boxing equipment and apparel and lifestyle brand. I'm pretty excited about that. So New Vision for me has allowed me to take the skill set, and also the network of some of my business relationships, and bring it, into the Boxing Hall of Fame, and it all works together.
So Ray, let's get into let's let the listeners hear about day 3, because day 3 is the mother load of all. Like, it is, day 3 is just absolutely incredible for the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, which, if you just tuned into the program, ladies and gentlemen, it is happening this year at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. It is happening October 7th through the 9th of this year. It's the 6th annual awards and induction weekend, and you've got people being inducted like Kevin Rooney. I mean, there's just it's just an outstanding array of Hall of Famers that are going to be inducted this year in the Sunday ceremonies. Before we round out the program, I do want to say that tickets are now on sale. You can get the tickets. I believe you can get them at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. Is that correct, or do we get them?
Yes,
You can.
yes, you can. You can go to the box office at the Hard Rock, or you can go online, Ticketmaster, get your tickets, or you can go directly to the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame site, www.acbhof, for your ticket needs. Everything is right there on the site, and it takes you literally, whether it's on your smartphone or not. It's, our website has been built out, for mobile use. So all you have to do is hover over picture, and literally it takes you directly to the link of information that you want to see there.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. What I'm going to do in a couple of seconds is I'm going to throw up the graphic for the actual address for where you can get the tickets. Just bear with me for just 1 second while I put that up. And I'm wondering if you can just walk us through how Sunday looks.
Sunday is our, as we say, the mother load. No, it's actually Sunday is it's the official induction award ceremony. And again, we treat it like an award show. So it starts 4 p.m. With the pre-reception, and with that, from 4 to 5:30 is the pre-reception. Doors open at 5 for all those that are not part of the pre-reception event. And the program itself starts at 6 p.m. But at that pre-reception, you get to mingle with all our VIP guests, our dignitaries, the mayors, and various officials from the government here in Atlantic City and surrounding areas, as well as, obviously the VIP guests and the inductees and their family and friends. And it's a pretty cool event. It's in their nightclub, which is on the second level from the arena. And with that, there's an overview of the Atlantic City, the Atlantic Ocean, Atlantic City Boardwalk, and an unrestricted view of the Ferris wheel in Steel Pier. So it is just a beautiful, venue to start off the evening, and then we proceed into Soundwave Theater, which is about a 1,500 seat theater. Beautiful state-of-the-art theater, and that's where our induction ceremony starts. And again, live band. We have Stavern and her Stavern Experience band there, and everyone that don't know, Althea Saunders is Lady Thunder. She's actually a former boxer from Atlantic City. She's fought in various fights in the casinos and other places, and she's just a great person. But she's a singer as well, and this is her 4th year with us, and her band just do an unbelievable job. And again, I try to bring people that are in the boxing business that have gifts, in various aspects into this. So that's something that I take pride in with, Vern, Althea Saunders, but we call her Vern. And she, like I said, she's a former boxer, accomplished boxer, and she will be inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame in a very short time as well. But her and her band actually do a great job with the performance. We have DJ Young Hitter, again, our resident DJ, just great guy. And also we have jazz musician Eddie Morgan Jr. He's going to be doing a trumpet tribute in memoriam to our fallen brothers and sisters as well that we've lost so far this year. And then it's hosted by the Renaissance man himself, Samad Haq, who is accomplished photographer, musician. He's just, I call him the voice. He's just an unbelievable guy. And he's our host for the evening. And again, we have some surprises that we will be being able to roll out that evening as well. So it's a great experience, but that is our official induction ceremony where we would be honoring Lennox Lewis and Julio Cesar Chavez and James Lights Out Tony and Chuck Masaccio and James Broadax Broad and Frank the Animal Fletcher from Philadelphia, who was just one of those fan favorite fighters here in Atlantic City, and just so many other. I'd be remiss not to mention Kathy Duva, who is one of the top promoters with Main Events, as well as Pat Lynch, who was Arturo Gotti's manager, and also Kathy Collins, Wildcat Collins. She the first female boxer that we're inducting into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame as well. And we have Dr. Dominique Coletta. We have Harold Letterman, the official boxing judge. He'll be going in posthumously. We also have Eddie Aliano, who was a famed cut man. He was called the Clot because he was able to stop any cut. So, I mean, we're pretty excited. Randy Newman, top referee in this business. Lynn Carter, Philadelphia legend, but she is one of the pioneers in Atlantic City as one of the first or second female boxing judges here, and she's worked major fights around the world. So, we're excited about this group, and again, it's going to be a great evening. And then once that program is over, we have a post cocktail reception with desserts and coffee and mingle. And so, again, in that beautiful setting. And at that point, the weather should be nice and cool. The moon should be out and overlooking the ocean, and you'll see the lights of the Ferris wheel in the background. And it'll just be a great evening at that point, just to conversate about what you just experienced for the weekend. So we're pretty excited about this weekend.
Absolutely incredible.
Yes,
Ray.
absolutely.
I mean, it's just been really, really a delight to have you on the program. It's always a delight to have you on the program. And, for those of you tuning in, that if you didn't see the graphic go up, for tickets to the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City on October 7th through the 9th, 2022. It's the 6th annual Awards and Induction Weekend. You can get your tickets by going to www.acbhof.com. That's www.acbhof.com. That stands for Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, in case you didn't know. But get your tickets. Ray, thank you so much for being on the program. I'll make sure that when the program goes up on Apple Podcasts and also the YouTube, I'll make sure I put all the links in the description so that folks can find their way directly to this event. I'm telling you, I was there last year, as Ray mentioned, and I'm pretty deeply rooted in boxing, as you all know, on many different levels. But I will tell you this. My mouth was hanging open looking at all the people I grew up watching and all the new guys coming up. I mean, everybody shows up to this event. You won't want to miss it. And you definitely want to make sure you bring your Sharpie marker and whatever stuff you got so you can get those autographs, because there are a plethora of folks who come out to this event. Harold, what do you think?
Mr. McCline from the Spit Bucket. To run the Hall of Fame, boy, what a ride now.
Hey, look, and I'll throw in there. I used to wipe the mirrors down as well. So,
That's
no,
right.
hey, look, I take pride again in the fact that I've had that humble, start in this sport, and to be, now in this position, I'm humbled by it. I appreciate the fact that I've been able to do this, but also do it, with the spirit of excellence, and also to have great people, with me on this. And Mark Roxy is one of them. He's going to be a part of this as well. This experience, he's doing the production, the stage management production for us, and also producing some of the images you will be seeing on the screen that evening. So we're pretty excited about the total experience, and we expect to see the boxing breakdown on Saturday at our fan experience. So fans will be able to see you guys do some of the live interviews right there with some of the participants, and also of that day.
It is going to be an amazing event. One to tell the grandkids about, and you definitely won't want to miss that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight. Ray McCline, thank you so much for taking the time out tonight to share with the listeners of the Boxing Breakdown this amazing event that you curated, something that is really, really special and unique happening in Atlantic City and New Jersey. And it's just an amazing contribution you've made to the boxing community, and also to the entire state, to be able to put that together in Atlantic City. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for being on the program. And we're gonna send the program out with our traditional outro, so stand by as we hit that. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of the
Fight fans, join host Mark Roxy and special guests as they break down all aspects of the boxing world, including news, business, management, training, promotions, fan reactions, upcoming events, matchups, future boxing stars, title fights, state of the boxing world, and all the stuff you don't see when you watch boxing. This podcast is released each week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streamed on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. It's the Boxing Breakdown, hosted by Mark Roxy.